The Bachelor will not be seen tonight, so that we may bring you this quality program.
Wrong.
From our super secret studio, just down this lovely country lane, it's the Health and Wealth Show with David Ernest, the 30-minute program that brings you some good news about your money. And now, here he is, the Ayatollah of your bankrolla. It's David Ernest.
And welcome back to another Health and Wealth Radio show. I'm interviewing the Portfolio Defender.
Ooh, that's
Man.
right, Dave. I'm the Portfolio Defender. Ooh, yeah, brother. Ooh.
Yes. And he has lots of experience with defending your portfolio.
That's right, brother. And I'll tell you, I got a big match coming up this week against the portfolio killer himself.
Really?
He's called Mr. Asset Eater. Yeah.
Asset Eater.
That sounds weird, but that's his name. We won't say it anymore. Yeah, yeah.
No, I don't like him.
No, I don't like him either. I'm gonna take him. Ooh, I'm gonna bend him and break him because he's after everybody's portfolio.
I know it.
Ooh.
He must be kin to Bernie Madoff.
Oh, I think. Well, Madoff is his manager. They got him out, and he's in the corner. I'm gonna get him too. Oh, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. We're gonna be down here at the arena. Get your tickets now because you don't want to miss this. Ooh, yeah.
Okay. Well, can I ask you some questions, Portfolio Defender?
Sure, man. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Ask me anything. Ask me some questions. Ooh.
Okay. Do you obviously you like to make it where things are tax free?
Ooh, yeah, tax free. That's one of my cohorts is the tax free Avenger. Yeah, he comes out sometimes and helps me because you want everything to be tax free when you get ready to retire because you worked hard and you want all that dough when you go to the fishing hole.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
I know. Hey, and you probably like tax deferral.
Oh, tax deferral. That's my dog. I got a tax dog, but a dog named Tax Deferral. We're all about that at our house, yeah. Ooh, yeah. We all sit around looking at our portfolios and trying to breathe in these crazy masks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I get it.
yeah.
Yeah. You look kind of familiar to me. I thought you had died.
Well,
No,
no.
that's a movie.
Don't tell that. Don't tell that.
No. Not on the movie.
No. Ooh.
No, kids, y'all didn't hear that. He didn't really die.
Ooh.
He's back. He's back.
I'm back.
Yes, he's back. And he's protecting your back.
That's right.
He protects your back.
That's right. I'll come up and put the step over toe hold. And what's the other one? The sleeper hole. Yeah, we do the sleeper hole on anybody after your portfolio.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You don't want to go to sleep when you've got a portfolio problem because they can sneak it away from you.
Well, but I tell you, Dave, I gotta go now. I understand there's some portfolio problems over on the other side of town.
Well, that's
good
nice.
critic.
Nice
no
meeting
critic.
you. Nice meeting you.
You still can't have me. Wait, that's Super Birdhead. I'll see ya. Ooh, yeah.
Where's Rusty?
My butt's still in the picture.
Don't get it out of there. Well, folks, I don't know what just happened
That
here.
guy was he's off the chain.
He's protecting everyone.
That's right. He's almost like a superhero. What was his name?
Asset Protector.
No, that was Asset Protector or
Yeah.
Portfolio Man. Portfolio Man.
Oh,
that was
Portfolio
him.
Man.
He's
Protect your
protecting
assets.
your assets. Yeah.
Yes. Although he didn't get them all out of the way, but that's okay.
I think his asset was still in the picture there for a minute. It was-
Yes, sometimes it'll set it in the wrong place. But sometimes it's got to be moved around a little bit, Get it out of the way because it's in the way. But here's the thing. You need your assets protected.
That's right.
Yes, you do.
Well, what's that old saying? CYA?
Yeah, you got to
Cover your assets.
Yes,
that's
you got
right.
to cover
because
them.
if you don't, somebody will snap up your assets and take them away with them.
And you never know who they might be.
You don't want that. Have we mentioned Aunt Sally here lately?
Oh,
could run off with your
Lord,
portfolio?
And Aunt Sally, sometimes she looks a lot like something called IRS.
Yes, she does. I think Aunt Sally is working both.
She might be working for
there.
them.
Yeah.
The thing is, they like to get some of your portfolio when you try to spend some of it. They try to get some of it, and they try on some portfolios. They try to get some of it every year. I mean, they want to get it every year. You want a portfolio that if you don't spend any, you don't have to pay them every year.
That's
and
right.
You really, really would like to have a portfolio is when you spend some of it, you don't have to pay them any year. Those are the ones I really like.
Well, if you think you would like that, all you have to do is call David Ernest at 279-7431. The portfolio protector man, he may answer.
Well, he works for me.
You could leave a message for David if you get the machine. But call him at 279-7431 and just set up an appointment. Go by, talk to him. Won't cost you a dime, and it could save you a whole lot of dimes. A big stack that big.
Yes.
279-7431. Call today. Call often. Call your friends. Tell them to call.
Absolutely. You know, you need a bodyguard. Now, one of the bodyguards that I use is asset protector, a portfolio protector. I mean, you know, Iron Man hadn't got anything on us. We got all these things, but the problem is some of these portfolios don't have those things. They don't have anything to protect you. They just put you out there. You know, we had a show called The Naked Portfolio. They just kind of put you out there naked, and you're going, well, wait a minute. What if something goes wrong here?
What's that show that's on Naked and Afraid?
Yeah.
You know, they're making a new one called Naked and You Shouldn't Be. Because
that's right.
But the Naked and Afraid people, they're out there, but they do have some skills to help them survive.
Yeah.
Most folks don't have the skills that David has as far as assets and portfolio protection and retirement and that sort of thing. David can kind of steer you in the right direction, get your feet on the path to prosperity.
Well, you know, they've turned me loose in the jungles for over 30 years, the jungle of portfolios, to learn how to survive, how to make this work.
It's a jungle out there.
It's a jungle out there. You've got to know how to survive. If the stock market goes down, you got to know how to make it where it doesn't go down with you.
That's right.
If you get sick, you got to know how to get money out of the system, but lots more than you would have got if you were just in the jungle. You know, some of that, I watched that show, Naked and Afraid. Some of them get real bad sick.
Yeah.
And they have to leave early, and they don't get any bonus money. Matter of fact, they interview them a little afterwards, and, you know, a lot of times they're just barely making it. You know, yeah, that almost killed me. You don't want that. You don't want to be almost killed when something in your portfolio makes you sick, makes the portfolio sick. You want to be able to have instant antibiotics right there. You're well.
What kind of sound do they make?
What?
Is that an antibiotic? I had no
Instead
idea.
Of coming out of your portfolio, coming into your hands, into your portfolio.
I've got to get a new TV, though, because something's wrong with my TV, because when they show these people, there's little fuzzy things everywhere. I don't know what that is. But
you never know.
You never know. But we're going to take a short break, and we'll be back in just moments with more good advice from David Ernest on health and wealth, and maybe some more wrestling. I don't know.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
There's just so much to see at one time. It's just hard for one person to take it all in. And I know they're diehard wrestling fans who've been coming to wrestling before Southern States Wrestling was formed. There are people who've been attending matches here in Montgomery for 20 years.
Because no matter how much you are liked or disliked, if you got ability, you know, and it shows, then you're going to create a scene and get action going in wrestling, whether it's Southern States or any other wrestling going on today.
Hey, Rusty, was that you?
About 100 pounds ago.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Man, that was impressive.
I'll tell you what, that was back, oh, goodness, that had to be in the late 80s, early 90s. And this was local stuff here. It was Southern States Wrestling.
That was back in the good old wrestling days.
My friend, the Rockin' Rebel.
The Rockin' Rebel.
Rockin' Rebel. There was my friend Mad Max. The Ministers of Death.
The ministers of
Oh
death.
man, we had a crew. We had a crew of folks. We had Taz was in it. We had a Taz before there was a Taz in the WWE.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And of
Man,
course,
you're a pioneer.
oh yeah, we were groundbreakers. Yeah.
Were you ever thrown out of the ring?
I fell out of the ring one time.
fell out?
And I got put to sleep one time.
Uh-oh.
And Burrhead Jones headbutted me one time.
Super Barrhead.
And I think that's why I don't act right. And I actually had the Mongolian Stomper chase me with a boot one time.
Did that hurt?
He didn't catch me.
Oh,
that's
good.
the time I fell out of the ring. Is because I was trying to. I had the microphone and it was corded, and I dropped, tried to roll, got my feet hung up, and just
Oh man!
But he didn't hit me with the boot.
And you never know when you're going to get hit with a boot. That's for sure.
Right. The boot is out there, and it could get you at any minute. And what you need is somebody that's got your back. So if you even get hit with the boot, it doesn't hurt as bad.
Yes.
And that guy is this guy right here.
When your portfolio gets hit with a boot.
And I got a wrestling name for you.
What's that?
The White Tornado. There he is right there. The White Tornado. That's him.
I like it.
Yeah, and he's going to come out and he's going to spin around and get your portfolio all fixed up and ready to go.
You got to put a spin on things.
That's right.
If you don't put a spin on things, you can get the boot and that can take your loot.
That's right.
You don't want that boot to take your loot.
No,
You put the spin on things and change it around.
If that boot gets your loot, it's going to scoot.
It will scoot right on into like other coffers like the IRS.
Yes.
Oh, they got a bucket. Did I ever tell you about Marmaduke? The old
Now, you've told me about Marmaduke. He he had a store near where you grew up. Old country store.
Marmaduke was a penny pincher. He said, Sonny, pennies make dollars. But he had this old log cabin store, and they had these, how these wood is, had cracks, in between.
Yeah, little, like little spaces.
If you would drop any of your loot through those cracks, you'd hear cha-ching, cha-ching, and Marmaduke would just laugh and say, "It's gone now, Sonny." You don't want the IRS to say, "It's gone now, Sonny." You don't, because it's gone. When they get it, it's gone. It's gone. You want to hang on to that stuff. You want the floors to be kind of like where kind of close together. You want your portfolio put tightly together so that it won't fall through the holes, and then they got a bucket under there and it falls into the IRS bucket. You don't want... a lot of times when they talk about all these portfolios, they say, well, you got this bucket over here, you got this bucket here, this bucket's a little more conservative, this was a little more, aggressive, and all these buckets. And that's how we protect you with these buckets. But the thing is, we got a big, gigantic bucket underneath all them buckets, and that's how we catch everything. Because every now and then something falls out of the bucket. And how do you fix that? You got a bucket that catches the bucket. That's how you do it. You don't get bucked off because you get caught in midair, and there you're really staying right where you need to be. You don't get broke up. Your bones don't get broke. You don't get stomped up by that bunking, a bull.
Yeah.
The bull on Wall Street is running around all the time. You ever seen these fools over in Spain? They run from it. And it'll kill them.
I would be running the bulls here. I'm running this way while the bulls go that way now, because that would just be the smart thing to do.
You want to run with the bulls, but you don't want to fall down with the bulls, in front of them. So that's how our bucket works. If you fall off the bull, you don't get stumbled by the bulls because you fall in the bucket. You fall into the free fall, but you get caught and you're saved, and your portfolio can never go down below where it was the day before.
Now, we all have to pay taxes.
That's
that's pretty much the truth. We have to. It's
the legal taxes.
If you don't, they'll come get you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's like the guy was selling the used car, and the guy says, how much you want for it? And he told him, he says, I don't mind you getting rich, but you don't have to make it all off of me. That's the thing. That's the thing about the IRS. You pay your fair share, but they kind of want more than that sometimes. They want you to go above and beyond.
If you do some dumb things, they'll take lots of money from you.
So what you need is to pick up that phone, which you probably pay taxes on, and call David Ernest at 279-7431. That's 279-7431, and he will guide you through this. He will help you figure out how to legally avoid paying too much.
That's right.
It's all on the up and up. It's all above board.
Oh, yeah.
It's not like, I bet Marmaduke had one of them old steel trays up under there that he would
did, 'cause
slide
you
out
could hear it
every
go
afternoon.
click, click, click,
Yeah,
click.
he probably made a fortune
Oh
off that.
man, he didn't believe in any of the investment kind of people. The stock market, his old grandpappy lost a lot of money in the stock market and the banks, the banks that went out in the 30s.
Yeah.
So he wouldn't do it. He wouldn't do it. But in reality, we know that the United States is the government, and that is what makes the money valuable. We've not been on the silver system or the gold system in a long time. We have nothing. We got some in Fort Knox. I'm not really sure how much we've not given away. I think we're giving it a lot away, So really what's powerful here is our economy. Our economy is what's really making the strength of our money work for us. And our military. People say, what, military? Yes. And our deals with China and our deals with Russia and our deals with North Korea and all these things is what makes us powerful. Or making part of NATO pay for some of their damages.
Oh, yeah.
Or making Mexico pay for a wall, in which I don't know if that's going to happen. But the thing is, all these things makes our money more powerful when they're put together right. So I don't think money's going to go away, and if it did, it wouldn't matter where you had it. You could have it in the mattress, you could have it in the portfolio, you could have it. It wouldn't be worth anything. Okay?
Right.
I mean, we've talked about the money of the South. It was good one day, and the next day it's just a novelty. So that happens. Look at Venezuela.
They're just throwing it in the streets out there.
It's just not worth anything. I mean, it's really been destroyed by that socialistic system. Did I just say socialistic system?
And if you think socialism is a good thing, what I'd like for you to do, just for me, is go live in a socialist country for a couple of years and then come report back to me and tell me what you think. I bet you'll think different.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, there are things that the government needs to do, obviously, to protect us, okay? But one of the things that they really, it seems to really has enhanced us down through the years is the fact that they allow us to have our own businesses and to pay taxes, but to also defer them or get out of them by doing some things that in other words, you use a portfolio preservationist like me, asset preservationist, and you can do these things. There's ways to plan for your future so that when the tax man cometh, he just takes a small amount, not all of it. He takes some of it and you help support the government. But you also help support your family because you get to keep what is legally yours to spend on you and your family. That's what's important.
That's important. And it's important that you call David at 279-7431. If nothing else, just mention to him what you think about the program on TV here. We try to do a good job. We get a little goofy sometimes.
We want to make it, we want you to think.
That's what it's all about.
It's all about thinking about things.
279-7431. That's 279-7431. Call David Ernest today. We'll be back with more of this extravaganza in just moments with David Ernest.
It's a Rassalani. And welcome back to our Health and Wealth WrestleMania show.
Yes, indeed. I had a lot of fun doing that. We went all over the place. And I've had people come up to me and they say, is wrestling, or as we say, it's wrestling, but wrestling,
wrestlers.
Is it real? Well, that depends on how you look at it. I'll tell you, I'll let you in on something if you don't know this. Okay. Some people will cut you about it.
Yeah, my grandfather was.
My grandmother.
My granddaddy, he believed it was all real.
But the thing is, it is real. You can get hurt.
You can.
It's just what do they call it? Scripted sports entertainment. Yes. I mean, when they come out,
acrobatics.
Yeah, they pretty much know how it's going to go.
Yeah.
The dude in the ring, the referee, he's in charge. He's the one. He's usually mic'd up or out of earpiece. They're telling him, "Look, this, they're going to have to step it up," and he'll get, "Hey, step it up." He'll tell them what to do.
Yeah.
And there's a planned ending too. Yes, when they throw them, I've been thrown down on that mat. I know it hurts. I mean, it's not good. It's not excruciating, but it's not something I'd like to have done every day. Somebody described it as soap operas for men.
Yeah,
But you know, a lot of women like it too. And back in the 90s, it got
Oh, they
big.
get it.
As,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
as a matter of fact, there's some of Donald Trump out there just wailing away on Vince McMahon. I mean, you know, they had celebrities come out and wrestle.
Yeah.
Who did I see? I think Mr. T was in there. You know,
Oh, they had all kinds. They had women wrestlers. They had, you know, small people wrestlers. They had all these different kind of people wrestling. They had, I don't know if they had kids wrestling. I don't know if they ever had any of that or not.
I think they do that overseas.
Oh,
I think it's frowned on. But anyway,
Yeah.
yes and no. It's not fake because it is real, but it's scripted. There's a beginning, a middle, and an end, and otherwise it wouldn't be entertaining.
Yes, and there's a lot of other things that could be scripted, you know, and we just don't know it. But we see things all the time in our lives, in our government, in our economy, where, like, if they lower the interest rates, the stock market goes up. They up them, the stock market goes down. Some kind of enthusiasm comes out, and the market jumps up. Oh, they're not going to make a deal with the Chinese, and the market drops down. You know, it's almost scripted.
And you mentioned something a while ago in this program, and I was going to mention. You were talking about our military.
Yeah.
You know, when we go over to these other countries,
Yeah.
and we don't go for nothing.
No.
No, we're not just the Boy Scouts.
No.
They don't put it in the paper, but they do. Like, we go over and help somewhere in Egypt. They send stuff over here. I mean, it's all it's all on the up and up, but you just don't hear about it.
Yeah, there's a lot of, you know, and that goes on in all political stuff where there's backdoor deals going on, okay? But here's the thing. You need your own backdoor deal going on.
That's right.
You don't need to be dependent or codependent upon the government taking care of you, because it just might not happen, probably won't, the way you want it to happen. You need to have your own backdoor deal going on. That is, you need to have your own IRA, or more Roth IRA. You need to have your own 401k or Roth 401k. But very important, you need to have your own private self-completion retirement program. And yes, that has to deal with insurance companies, because there's nothing else that can, to my knowledge, legally guarantee what we call self-completion. Okay, what happens if your house burns down? They build it back with insurance, right? What happens if you die? They give your family life insurance policy to give money to help survive. What about if all that was geared into a program that if you get sick, you're still alive, you can't work, they give you money, tax-free. What if all of that could be bundled into a program that when later on into your life, the IRS says, well, or the government says, well, you know, we're going to reduce your Social Security based upon how much income you have. But you have the income that's not reportable because you borrow it against your program. That's how you get out of taxes. Borrowing is not taxable, my friend. Borrowing is a debt on paper. So that's the way you get around a lot of these things. We have programs that we can show you all these things. Okay, these things are legal, okay? They're legal. They're using insurance products, okay? And there's other ways to do it. Your Roth IRA is supposed to be tax-free, you know, as long as you can trust the government. And if they did renege on that one, I do believe it would be worse than any demonstration that has ever hit the Capitol of our United States.
It would be a march of biblical proportion.
I believe it would be.
Yes.
I believe it would be. So
they'd wandered in the desert for 40 years before they got there, but it'd be big.
Yes. And then they had a lot of snakes they had to eat. There's snakes in your portfolio.
Yes.
There's snakes on the plains.
There's
and there's
snakes
in the
in
portfolio.
my head. They're all in
Yes. You need to get out the snakes. Get them out of there. Get them out of there. Every now and then a snake will come around and you can't help it, okay? But you need to be able to kill the poisonous snakes and let go the good snakes. How do you know which one's the good and the bad? That's where you call somebody like me. You need to know what's going on. We sit down with you and we say, well, tell us about you. Tell us your situation. You know, are you married? You got kids? Tell us about what you love. Who do you love? How much money you got? How much do you need? What do you want? What's your goal in life? What do you see in the next 10 years, 20 years? We go through all that. We don't charge for this, by the way.
No.
We just go through all this with you, okay? And it's very important that we know what you want. Now, most people want happiness. Most people don't want to lose their money in the stock market. I've never seen anybody that says, hey, I just want to lose it, man. I'm going to throw it into the most risky thing I can. Maybe it's in a risky thing and they don't even know it. You know, you need to look at all these things, okay? That's what you need to look at. And your taxes, you need to look at those. You know, a good CPA, a good tax accountant, you need to look at all these different things. So and there's trust work that can be done sometimes. Sometimes you might need a trust. You might need an irrevocable trust. You might need a revocable trust. Or you might need some other kind of trust. You know, those things we can look at, and then we can refer you to the attorney who would look at it a little more. I don't practice tax, stuff, and I don't practice law stuff. But I am involved because I have to be, and I get you to the person who can pull that lever. But the thing is, I am involved in tax-free investments. I am involved in tax-deferred investments, and I am involved in insurance-type investments that do those things, and they're all related. But you got to have, you know, when you go to a physician, you don't say, hey, I think I need a brain surgeon right now. I'm going to go see one.
Well, let's set that up for you.
No, you don't do it that way.
No.
You say, I think I need to call Doc so-and-so, you know, Doc Holliday or whatever his name is. And you say, you know, and you go in there and say, yeah, you've been having headaches. Yeah. Well, I think you might need to go see this neurosurgeon over here or this neurologist or whatever. You know, that's when you come to me. I say, well, what's all this going on? Maybe you need to do this, maybe do that. But he don't charge you extra for that. I don't charge you anything for what I do like that, okay? You come in, you can talk to me. I'm a free talk to person.
Free. 279-7431. And real quick, we got about a minute left. Check that out. Look at that.
What is that?
Now take it in your hand.
Yeah.
You look at it. That is a portfolio.
Yes.
It's a portfolio.
Yeah.
See, what you need to do is look at it here, though.
Yeah.
Because I got it in my hand.
Yeah.
And you got to be careful because the portfolio can disappear.
Yeah, I see that.
It can go away, and you won't have it anymore. So there's a little bit left sticking out, so we'll get it all stuck down in there. And go ahead and just tap on that hand right there, and the portfolio is gone.
Oh no, they pulled one on me.
So you got to be careful because your portfolio could go away.
Yes.
Call David Ernest, 279-7431, and I am available for children's parties. 279-7431. That's David Ernest, Health and Wealth. We'll be back next time.
All matters discussed during the show are for informational purposes only. Each individual situation may vary, and the opinions expressed here may not apply to everyone. Materials presented are believed to be from reliable sources, and no representations can be made as to its accuracy. All ideas and information should be discussed in detail with one of our qualified representatives prior to implementation.